Today we are in KwaZulu-Natal to learn about ePHP, which stands for Enhanced People's Housing Process. This program encourages communities to build their own houses and avoid being passive recipients. Through ePHP, community members come together, form a cooperative which then builds houses for people who live in that area. Here's an example of somebody who is benefiting from ePHP.
Igama lami nguThenjiwe. NgingokwaMankanku isibongo. Ngihlala nabantu abami abathathu abalane nomzukulu oyedwa. Into enza ukuthi ngiyithande le ndawo yala kaMpumuza, ngithanda ukuthi nje bangingcwaba ebaleni futhi kanti ngiseduze nanomgwaqo. Uyabona nje. Ngangibikelwa uma lihloma izulu. Ngoba ngangazi ukuthi nje kusa ngimanzi ngisho umbhede. Kwaze uphinde kwafika nezikhukhu leziphepho lezo ke zayithatha ke yadliphika kwaphela ke nje. Ngaze ngasizwa abantwana bangakhela umkhukhu nje wathayela ngale. Ngahlala kulomkhukhu walothayela ke unetha kwasawona. Kwaze kwabe kwabuya kufika ke kwa iMandela Day, kwafika othisha basesikolweni ePhayipini nezingane. Bangigqumekela ku-one room bangifulelela. Ngabuya ke bangikhipha khona bangifaka kulo one room ke. Wofulelwa usheshiswa nawo awufulelekile kahle hle. Nganginethwa ke kwalapho ke nje.
Sinqobile Mkhize is a member of one of the most successfully run cooperatives here in Vulindlela, Harambe. It is responsible for building houses in Ward 1. Let's see how this cooperative works.
Igama lami nguSinqobile Mkhize, ngizalele kule ndawo ngakhulela kuyona. Ngumuntu othanda ukuphumelela empilweni, ngumuntu oyimiselayo nanoma ngabe yini engiyenzayo empilweni. Nginika wonke umfutho enginawo ukuze ngikwazi ukuphumelela. Ngumuntu othanda abantu nothanda ukusebenzela abantu. So angikholela ukuthi mangabe kukhona amathuba esiwatholayo noma amakhono esiwatholayo kufanele sihambe nawo sowasebenzisa kwezinye indawo. Njengoba sizalele la kuwumsebenzi wethu ukuthi kube ithina esenza indawo yala sizalelwe khona ukuthi ibe indawo engcono. Ngadilizwa emsebenzini ngo-2011. I think February kanje. So i-project iqale ngo-2011 kade ngingasebenzi. So ngangumuntu ohlele ekhaya and bayabhize coach abafana and bangine team yebhola. Engangijimisa ngaleso sikhathi ngoba yona indlela engangikhipha ngayo busy. Siqala ukuzwa ukuthi kuzoba ne-project yokwakhiwa kwezindlu around 2010. So then silosizwa kuyizinto ezikhulunyayo. Kwaqhamuka i-idea ke ethi ke ngoba le project ePHP so idinga abantu bendawo. Kusho ukuthi nami ngabe umunye kwalabo bantu abakhethwayo ngokubona imisebenzi engiyenzayo ngoba bekade I was involved with youth. Sathathwa yonke indawo yala eWard 1 but from different sections. There were 12 of us and then we formed a cooperative. We were working while we also training. After 3 months, we come back to a point where we buy someone needs to be elected as the chairperson and all that. I had to be elected, so I was unopposed. All the guys agreed that I should be the chairperson. At first, I don't want to lie, there were a lot of failures. The houses were failing because you find that these people, they don't have those certificates for building and stuff. Because it was difficult to acquire the people with the certificates, the qualified, the one that got skills. You have to nurture your own to support this ePHP thing. I must compliment the guys who are inspectors for these projects because they've been with us through the nick of things. They were always there for us in terms of teaching us what needs to be done and what not needs to be done. But in that process, while we were doing the houses and stuff, we have to deal with the community as well because the community knows that we haven't built any house. Now, how are they going to trust us that the house that you're going to build are not going to fall on them? So we had also to convince people and so that they can see that we're serious. We have 5 houses that are in progress for roof and completion. And then we have other 4 houses at the moment who are in progress for wall plates. and then there are 5 for slabs. We have the main contractor, which is Vulindlela Development Association, and then we have our Harambe Construction Cooperative, which is subcontracted to the main contractor. After we work, we submit to VDA as the main contractor that this is what we have done. And then VDA will check whether that has been passed.
Hey, ngajabuliswa komntwana mzukwana sekuthiwa angingene. Ngajabula ngisabona isilephu nje. Ayibothi inkosi yami. Ngizohlala endlini ekhonkiwe nami nje ngizoba umlungu omnyama. Malina nje manje ngengiphenduke ngibheke phezulu ngilale ngomhlanje njengomnumzane nje ngiyilalele nje imvula nje iyehla nje. Ngibonga kakhulu ngoba ka VDA bangisiza kakhulu ngendlela isimanga ngiswela imlomo. Ngilala kamnandi kabi. Ngingena nje ngithi qhaqha ugesi ekamereni lami. Ngicishe ngilale. Kungisiza kakhulu kunomehluko omkhulu ngihlala kule ndlu endala naba sengila endlini endala belithi malina mhlambe kokayimanzi kanti amanzi asengenile nalandlini yena ezongena mhlamba ngikho uzovula endlini ngene nje uzokungena seqhampukele emanzini nje manje la useyangena nje yazi ukungena nje komile nje ungena nje shuluzi ngoba useyazi ukuthi maye ekamereni uhamba ngala maye yaphi uhamba ngala wazi konke nje akanankinga ndawo nje.
Whenever I have seen a house like this one, and then you complete the house, and then the beneficiary moves inside, I said, to God be the glory. I have done something. I prefer doing it by myself so that I know that everything is doing right the first time, so that I don't have to go back and fix that. Before it used to happen. In the meantime, if there are any issues in all the sites, if they are having conflicts and stuff, they'll phone me. I think the idea of the cooperative is right, but in most cases has not been done or dealt with accordingly. We must support this thing. We must just do it because we want to comply with government. We must understand the whole interest of the cooperative. Because really, if you can employ 10 people instead of 1, it means you have made job opportunities for a lot of people. Because of VDA, even if this project has to in 2018, all the houses have been built, I have gained something that will last me for the rest of my life. I don't see myself, I don't even know how to make a CV anymore because I don't think I will ever need a CV in my life. I have learned so much, I still have to learn more parts, and I want to make sure that this thing of cooperative is successful because I believe in it. And I believe that from what I've done, 2011 till now, I've proven that it's possible.
The ePHP is a very innovative solution to the housing and unemployment challenge. It's encouraging to see people take advantage of the opportunities it provides. After the break, we see more of the Vulindlela project and how it works. Don't go away. The Vulindlela ePHP program is run by the Vulindlela Development Association. To tell us more about this association, we have its operations manager, Mr. Francis Grantham. Welcome to Breaking New Ground.
Thank you very much.
Let's start by figuring out how the VDA, I suspect is what it will be called as an acronym, is constituted.
The VDA is constituted by a board of directors, which is made up of the incourses that are from the area of the Vulindlela. There's 5 incourses that make up the board, and 1 induna and an advocate to ensure that the board is properly advised on all matters.
How does it operate on the ground on a day-to-day basis? Maybe you can take us through the cooperatives themselves.
We have set up 9 cooperatives that exist in each of the 9 wards, and the responsibility of the cooperative is to build and construct all the houses. They have been trained in construction, housing construction. Then they act as a contractor, and they in turn employ local people. So the long term is to actually see the development and establishment of business entities in the Vulindlela area.
When you say business, as what you are teaching them, what do you mean?
Our long-term strategy is to ensure that they are business entities that will exist beyond the project. So we have undertaken training in financial management, business management, and construction management. We also train them in other facets of work. We have different types of co-ops. We have the co-ops who do construction. We have the mixer truck co-ops whose responsibility is to deliver concrete. So they have 10 trucks that make up that. We have a tipper truck co-op that delivers all the material that's required for construction and to the mortar yard.
How is this project funded?
The project is funded by the Department of Housing, of Human Settlements, and we ensure that as the funds are released, we move that into a company which is called Nurture that manages the funds for us. They are our financial arm. They manage all the funds for us. They release the funds for every house that is constructed, and we then claim off the Department of Human Settlements for each house as it is constructed.
What's been the most challenging part of this whole thing?
Part of the challenge that you have is the way funds flow from the department. So you find that your construction process spikes every month, because if you would go for a 3-month cycle, good funding, slow down in funding, loss of people, start all over again. So those challenges are a continuous challenge, and it will continue right up to the end.
But there must be highlights of the project. How long has it been going on for now?
We started in May 2011, and yes, there's definitely been highlights in the project in terms of the number of units that were to be constructed. Originally, we were working in the region of 300 to 350 units. In 2014, that rose all the way to 450 units.
Thank you so much for coming on Breaking You Ground.
It's been my pleasure.
The project has also served as a training platform for many people. Even students from several institutions here in KwaZulu-Natal have come for on-the-job training on the Vulindlela project. Chief George is one such student. His story is unique though. Let's take a look.
My name is Chief George, originally from the Eastern Cape, Flagstaff. When I was doing my grade 11 in high school, some people visited from the tertiary institutions and stuff, trying to explain which options do you have after you matriculated. They introduced architectural technology to me, and they introduced civil engineering because I was doing the subjects that they needed, maths and physics, technical drawing, all of those kind of subjects. I personally like seeing things happening on site and seeing things on action. So that's why I obviously put those two into my first and second choice. And I loved my technical drawing because I had an A in matric. I heard about the Vulindlela ePHP housing project when I was doing my S3 at school, obviously hunting and looking for in-service training. My HOD organized in-service training for students, so I was introduced to this project by him, or Mr. McEwen. I came into this project when it first started in 2011. I was a platform trainee where we were only doing the site clearance, the site excavation. We weren't gone into the building of the slabs and building of the wall plate up until the completion. So the course itself is 2 years plus 1 year of experiential learning. So I spent 6 months, the first 6 months I spent here, and then had to go back to school because I had to finish my diploma. And then obviously came back for the remaining 6 months, of which obviously I was maybe doing a good job because they kept me as a technician for more than a year. And that's when I got another job as maybe I should say a qualified person, because I had already obtained the diploma. And then after that I was called back to Vulindlela Development Association for a higher post, which is Assistant Construction Manager. So that's how it all happened, from school, in service training, and now on the management side of the whole organization. Working here on this ePHP project, I personally respect it because it's sort of like helping people who do not have houses. I've become a person who likes helping people because it's what this project has introduced to me. Going forward with my career and my future, I'd maybe in the next three or 4 years, I'd like to maybe see myself on top of the management, even if it's the National Department of Human Settlements, because I enjoy helping people, other people. So basically, I think this is how it's supposed to be.
Ward 7 in Vulindlela has a block yard which is run by one of these co-ops. And to talk to us about that is Ndumiso Tulu. Kunjani mntakwethu?
Ngiyaphila.
Siyajabula ukuba nawe la ku BNG. Besicela nje usichazele kancane ukuthi le block yard yaqala kanjani?
Qale yaranwa u-BNG. Vulindlela
Development Association.
Actually ngokubude bendlela kwahamba ngazi kwanyankinga yami bathi kuyivala bathi amasaba yivula base behamba besibheka emakhaya ngoba vele nasemakhaya kunama blocks esiwenzayo siwadayisela umphakathi base bahamba besibheka basithola base besinqenqa ukuthi sizofoma i-co-op.
And then nibangakhi kule co-op okwamanje?
Sithe
Uhamba kanjani?
okwamanje sibona kusahamba kahle.
Nithengisela bani ama-block obani abathenga kuninga kakhulu?
Sithengisela uVulindlela kuphela kwamanje.
Ukuya ngaphambili nifuna ukwenza njani?
Silefiso zokuthi kwenzeke ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sidayisele nomphakathi.
Kukhona abezayo ababuye emphakathini abanicelayo ukuthi menzele noma
Okwamanje abekho abezayo ukuthi bacela ukuthi sibenzele kodwa bake bafike babuze ukuthi masingabadayisela mhlambe singakwazi ukubadayisela kube ikona ukuthi siphoqa ukuthi sidayisele uVulindlela kwamanje.
ngodwa ngokubona kwakho senilungile seniyawazi umsebenzi.
Yebo sesiyakwazi.
Sebenza abantu abangakhi la?
La nje emshinini ukusuka kwawo lapha kuze kuzophuma la muva bawu-15 mase kuthi la nje abe stake kanje bawu-6.
And basebenza kahle batrainwa yini?
Yeah.
Niyaphi ukuya phambili ngalo msebenzi?
Siyafisa nje ukuthi naso development singabathengisela abangafaka ama-order nje singanawo amandla ukuthi sibathengisele.
Into ekujabulisa kakhulu ngale ndaweni yakhe la
Ukuthi kubonakala ukuthi kukhona nathi iqhaza sikwazi ukulibamba sabantu besifazane simixekile-ke nabesilisa kodwa abantu besifazane bona abaningi kakhulu la kule-co-op.
nibangakhi abantu besifazane?
Siwu-6.
Fike kanjani ukube nibe inina enibaningi kuyo?
Shuthi ngathi nje kuzenzakalele angazi kwenza kanjani ukuthi vele sibe baningi thina.
Abantu besifazane nabesilisa bayakwazi ukusebenza bonke angithi?
Yebo, kuyaboniseka.
One of the key ways to determine whether a co-op strategy has been successful is when it has been able to bring out a huge business that can work independently in the world. There is such a great example here in KwaZulu-Natal with Mzungulu Steel that is currently being run by Bulelani Ngumalo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Tell me how you started. Did you start as a co-op? Did you start in your backyard as a little business? How exactly did you start? What were the very first steps of Mzungulu coming to life, so to speak?
I started as a CC and I was alone, and I was joined by another 4 members in the company. Then we said we want to share ideas and share the resources. Then we formed a co-op. Started in a very small factory, which was 50 square meters. People were moving from building mud houses to block houses. And we started selling to the communities in the street corners. Then from there, one of the great ladies saw what we were doing and tried to invest in us. She assisted us with 600 rands, of which we bought samples. And today, the business is turning over more than 7 million a month, and we supply Walmart and Massmart.
Now tell me how you worked with the Vulindlela Development Association, if you did any work with them at all.
Vulindlela Development Association was the first biggest project that we got. and they enable us to get the machines and also being a client, because they were supposed to be building 25,000 houses at the time. They gave us the machines, which we used it as a collateral to IDC, and then we got a finance from IDC, and then from there we never stopped.
So through the co-op, you got the orders from VDA, you got the machinery, you got the funding to now boost yourself forward.
Oh, most definitely, yes. That's how they assisted us, because they are not only a customer. As we say, Vulindlela Development Association, they develop communities. That's why IDC was able to offer us a funding.
All the best with Mzungulu Steel, quite inspirational.
Thank you very
and
much.
Thanks for coming on Breaking New Ground. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. The Vulindlela project does not only bring employment and housing opportunities, it also ensures that most of the money is spent locally, thus empowering the community at large and as much as possible. It is also designed in such a way that it leaves a legacy that lasts long after the 25,000 houses have been delivered. Traditional leaders have been key to the success of ePHP across the country. Today we speak to Nkosi Zondi about the Vulindlela project. Sijabule ukuba nawe la ku-BNG, Nkosi.
Ngiyabonga mkhona.
Umsebenzi wakho mayelana ne-ePHP la emphakathini unjani?
Ukubhekelela ukuthi kungabe umphakathi uyawathola amathuba ukuthi wakhelwe izindlu, okanye kungabe umphakathi uyawathola amathuba ukuthi uthole imisebenzi.
Uma abantu bezakhela izindlu ngokwabo, kuhluka kanjani kunokuthi bakhelwe omunye umuntu oza ebuya ngaphandle mhlawumbe?
Bekungeke kwenzeka ukuthi kuthiwa bazakhele bona. Ngakho bekudinga kube khona ama-co-op kuyiwona azoqeqeshwa, aqeqeshiwe-ke lama-co-op, iwona-ke lawa akha lezi zindlu, bakha ngendlela ngeqophelo eliphezulu.
Kusho ukuthi abantu ababuya la khona la kwaVulindlela,
yebo, bathathwa kuzo zonke le ndawo,
kuzo zonke le ndawo bayazakhela uma sibheka kahle.
Yebo,
kube kwenza izindlu zakho kangcono mhlawumbe, noma cha, noma
kuyasiza futhi lolo hlelo ngoba kwenza umphakathi ube nento oyenzayo, ungalolu hlalo umphakathi uvuke uye kwidakamizwa. Abakwazi ukuya kwidakamizwa ngoba kudinga bavuke ekuseni baye kosebenza. Manje
ukuya phambili nibona kanjani le project le ePHP?
Le project sinethemba lokuthi izaqhubeka iye phambili, okuyothi noma ngabe isiphelile kodwa-ke ayoqhubeka umphakathi usebenze, kube khona amathuba omsebenzi.
Hayi no Nkosi, ngibonge kakhulu ukuthi uze wazokhuluma nathi la ku-BNG. Yeah. With an ePHP project, the community is at the center of the process. The Vulindlela project is a prime example of how beneficial it is to have a community participate in its own development. At its very best, it releases enterprises, industries that can last way into the future. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here on Breaking New Ground. Until the next edition.